Hello and welcome to the 25th episode of the Coming of the Dragon campaign.
We can have a quarter life crisis.
Yes.
We can finally write
quarter
cards
If we get to 100 episodes in this campaign, I'll be surprised.
Full life crisis?
That's a what?
Is that a full life crisis?
Yeah, that would be. That would mean that I let this campaign go way further than I thought it would.
That's okay.
New goal.
Yeah.
That's the goal. Derail the campaign.
New goal: derail the campaign to get to 100.
Oh, that's easy.
All right. 6 years from now.
It would be easy.
6 years from now, we'll look back on this episode and be like, Will was wrong. But yeah, so 5-word recap. What happened last session?
Feel like somebody's watching me.
Yeah.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah, that is 5.
Math checks out.
Yeah, so you guys... So 2 sessions ago, you guys accidentally killed someone in the tournament and then cast a bunch of magic to revivify them.
Now we're being punished.
And now you guys are being
No.
punished. No good deed goes unpunished. So,
Like I said, we.
yes.
It was the collective. It was the collective.
Yeah, let's be clear here. Ruvok killed someone, and then
Unintentionally.
Prim and Theo
Cleaned up his mess.
cleaned up his mess. Stole from a noble.
Well,
We'll save it for the
Slow
trial.
down there.
We'll save it for the trial.
And yes, so they spent
Hearsay.
last session
This trial?
attempting to come up with witnesses. So how this is going to kind of work is the plaintiff, which is going to be basically the leader of the tournament, who is the kind of the governor of this area. His name is Bushina. That's his last name. Kind of puts forward 3 witnesses, and then they also need to put forward 3 witnesses, and they're going to just kind of battle it out and say, in words, not combat, of who is in the right and who's in the wrong. And basically what it's going to be is going to be trying to keep Ruvok out of prison and let other people perhaps stay in the tournament. So, otherwise, they were also called by the head wizard Uruin to come and see him, and he was having some issues. Seeing things that weren't necessarily there, hearing things that weren't necessarily there, talking about eyes and needing eyes and things. But he also figured out some stuff with the runes that have been kind of, I don't know, around. So, yeah. You guys should probably write down what runes you do know, by the way, because those might be helpful later.
Send them in chat.
You guys figured out the rune for Highlands and the rune for Coastline.
nice.
I already had that down.
Okay.
I'm sure you did. Furious typing ensues.
I think it's bad when even Prim can't see what you're seeing. That's when you know.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair.
That's when you know it's
That's
not
when you know
dead.
it's not
whatever's
dead.
talking to 'em.
Yeah. It's not normal.
Yeah, so you guys weren't really able to find witnesses.
We've Ben Mage and Sam.
Yeah, so you have Ben and Sam, and then
Sweet.
Sam was basically saying that he would try and find someone who you already fought with to help you guys out, and then you guys went to a long rest. Yeah, you guys will successfully have a long rest.
Yes.
Broken, your dreams are fitful. You failed your save, so I will text you right now in chat. We had kind of meant to do it before and then got distracted setting up. Yeah. And, yeah. And you wake up slightly changed in the way that we have already discussed. No other, not surprising anymore.
Okay.
So, you wake up and you guys are currently in your island retreat. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna go knock on your tent. Is anyone
Am I
awake?
not in.
Yeah, he's not here.
I'm in jail. Is that?
I
Am I
forgot
not?
you weren't in your tent.
You're just
Still
frantically
there.
knocking
You
at my
didn't
tent.
change the
Yeah.
design.
I'm like, are you in there? Are you in there?
Just hear
I'm just
nothing.
gonna walk it. I'm gonna go wake you up. Someone took Ruvok.
What are you talking about?
Someone took Ruvok, he's no longer here.
He's in jail.
Shit. I was gonna go tell him my fees.
Your fees for being his lawyer?
Well, yeah, we gotta make this legit.
I mean, he could just give you $1.
What's $1?
The gold fees.
Well, no, we gotta establish like a fair transaction right here. I'll talk to him in prison before he goes out. I gotta get him in the right mind space and then hit him with
Okay.
the costs.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I think he's probably more worried about everything else than costs. We don't really need to charge him for this.
Do you know if there's verbal agreements, like verbal contracts?
Verbal contracts.
Yeah, sometimes there's verbal contracts are allowed in some cities, and
Yeah, I've
sometimes
done
you get a
verbal
written
contracts with
Okay,
people.
sounds good. Okay.
Not for lawyer stuff, but you know,
It's the same
contracts nonetheless.
All right, I'll talk to him. I see.
Oh. I mean, it's gonna be like half a day. You're taking this really serious. I appreciate that, but
His life is in my hands.
you seem a little pressed.
I am a little pressed. The thought of gold keeps me going. You know, I haven't slept very much, so I gotta.
I can tell. You look like you've been using too many of my stay awake mushrooms.
You have no idea.
I thought I revoked those from you.
No, you didn't.
Oh.
It's something with the memory loss going on. So don't worry about it.
Okay, well, we can go. I assume we can go see him in jail beforehand.
That's the goal. I gotta prep him on what to say and not to say. We also gotta do some makeup to make him look a little more vulnerable, you know?
He already looks vulnerable.
No, we gotta make him look more vulnerable.
Do you even have makeup? I don't have makeup.
You don't have makeup?
Is this about
No.
Rulock?
Yeah.
How do you make a black dragonborn look more lovable?
Ouch.
Vulnerable.
Vulnerable.
I don't know, you put some bags underneath his eyes and like kind of give him some bruises so he looks like he's all beat
Tear
up.
stains.
Yeah.
Maybe, like
Some puffy eyes. I might
One single tear.
put some lemon
Does
in his
that's
eyes.
on.
It's just a
Do
single tear.
dragonborn have eyelids?
Do they have tear ducts?
Do they have tear ducts? Can they
I
cry?
think so.
I assume so,
You're
right?
gonna send me down a Google search path.
I mean,
I need the answer to this. This is very important.
your life is on the line here, man.
Hasn't the internet already like tried to figure out like how dragonborn are made? Like, isn't that?
I've never questioned it, but now I'm
I feel like
questioning
people
it.
Have
Leave it in the comments below. How are dragonborn made?
Do they hatch from eggs?
Do they hatch from eggs? Oh gosh.
All I know is
they have 3 eyelids.
Well,
Oh.
2 normal ones and a thin,
The thin, like,
almost transparent one
wiper one?
underneath that moves in a perpendicular direction to the
like
other
cats. Cats have it too.
2. That's cool.
And sharks.
That's cool.
so you can cry 3 times.
So make him know that this is important.
Yes.
So when he cries 3.
Maybe it'll be a good omen in their eyes.
Alright, do we need to keep stalling? Are you guys good?
I'm
That
alright.
isn't so.
Had more dreams last night.
Don't you always have dreams?
Not with that many eyes in them.
How many eyes do your dreams normally have?
Make a wisdom saving throw.
Just with that.
It's a low check, so just don't
He
get
failed-
it.
I tried to use detect
He tried
thoughts
to
on
use
everyone.
the
and
text, yeah.
Made him make a wisdom saving throw.
He failed the wisdom saving.
Oh,
I
Then he
failed
failed
it again last night, 9.
9, you succeed,
Okay.
and thousands
Huh?
of eyes. As well as the other things that I texted.
No, she said normally.
Yeah, normally.
Oh, normally?
Normally.
Oh, I heard like this time.
No,
I'm
normally.
sorry. That's why I made you make the check. I'm sorry. I was thinking like,
I wouldn't have answered that.
Right.
Because I don't want,
I
don't want to make
apologize. Well, you succeeded it, so if you end up needing to make the check, we'll just use that roll.
All right.
Sorry, I heard something like,
Yeah,
it's
I only
okay.
normally have as many eyes as people have.
Yeah.
On their
me as well.
face. Normally. So,
It's like I talked about yesterday. I mean, got a little bit more interesting, but it hurts to think about.
I don't think about it.
That describes my life. Thanks. So do you think?
Nice.
That I don't think it's a big deal.
So what caused
I
you?
think I'm still in control. Not
It's the eyes.
Yeah.
They're coming.
So many eyes.
are coming.
And see the sounds.
I see the sound.
Maybe to show you all, I could make that sky look like it.
Let's do that,
I don't know if
yes.
that's, I don't know if that's a good idea.
I mean,
Do you think you're gonna lose
Sure.
control like a ruin?
I think he's probably going
If
to.
it keeps getting worse, maybe.
Are you afflicted by eyes?
I don't currently have like more eyes or whatever he was talking
Okay.
about. Or do I have any other ways of perceiving things that I notice?
Not that you notice.
Okay.
Bend over. You never know where an eye might pop up.
Okay.
There's one that's brown.
That's such
Someone
a
turns
barter.
their-
Oh, God,
Such a
Lucas.
This is probably normal.
Are you checking me out for eyes?
The leg needs
That is a
to
bark
bend
response.
over.
Yeah.
Right.
Is it?
Bend over.
Why are you getting dice up for this?
Hey man.
Yeah, why are
You never know. You need a dexterity saving throw.
I'm gonna investigate.
No.
Dexterity saving.
With his age, shit just happens.
Oh my god.
She's not
You get
that-
regular
Roll
checkups.
She's not that old, dude. She's still got like another 100 years at least.
You're an alien, like. Alright, well,
Right.
okay, well, we need to come up with something that you could say in a normal conversation that won't be wiped from your brain if you are corrupted.
Kind of like a safe word.
Oh, like something only the real Roken would know.
Only the real Roken would know, but it's not so weird that like a Ruin, he seems to have lost some of his ability to think about stuff, you know?
Yes. But he still seemed to remember, like all of us.
Yes.
Well, significant details from before that.
That's true. What if you say, I'm a turtle? And then we know for sure.
I'm a turtle.
I feel like people still get me to say that.
That's the point. Like, I guess if you can't say it, then we know you've already been too far gone.
How about this? I will give you the last 3 names of people I guided through this island on torture law.
I thought he was gonna give us the last 3 of his social.
Okay. Hit me with it.
Jonathan will have
seven
to.
seconds.
Jonathan will just have to name generate those, but
Yeah.
he will do that.
Go ahead.
Okay, first and last names are covered.
What?
Jonathan Will's the first name. Have to is the second one.
Spelled wrong.
Oh my god.
You
I
just
did.
deleted his
I
entire
did.
notepad.
Control Z, Control Z.
That was his entire defense, I'm pretty sure.
No, I don't have that written
That
down.
would be awesome.
Okay.
Dude, imagine your lawyer just accidentally deletes your entire case.
Control A and delete.
Like, what do you do at that point? You just
Turn in
leave.
your
Buy a new lawyer.
You turn in your bar exam license, that's what you do.
I feel like you just go into court and just say no contest. You just take the punishment.
Yeah.
We would like to change to a
plead
plead
guilty.
Yeah. Give up on life. You just commit to it. Oh, that's
Did
rough.
you want to try and make the
No wonder
the
lawyers are
staff
stressed
look
out all
like
the time.
you're doing
Well, I can only do that when I
Worse than I am.
cast it, so that'll
okay.
be tomorrow night if I want to do it.
Fair enough.
I'll think about it.
What would you guys like to do? Or are you just waiting for him to generate names?
Well, he does that.
We
We're
could
just,
probably
we're just
keep
gonna
going,
get,
yeah.
we're just gonna get ready and try and get to the. I mean, it's trial's pretty early, right? So
Yeah, it was like 8 a.m. or something.
What time is it now? If I step outside the portal.
7.
We're gonna have to hurry. We gotta leave.
When you do step outside of the portal, you find Sam passed the fuck out in a chair, like right next to the portal.
I'm gonna wake him up.
How do you wake him up?
With a kiss.
How's she rolling? She's
Oh,
rolling.
this is such a bad idea.
You've committed.
Oh, fuck.
It's in your hand.
Oh,
Your
it's gonna be
fate
pretty
is-
high. Oh. It's a 4. We're fine. She's not gonna do that.
All right, how do you wake him up?
Sam, you okay? It's time to wake up. I have morning tea for you.
He is still conked out.
I'm just touch his shoulder. Try to wake him up a little bit.
I'm gonna play this off my instrument.
You go with your gong.
Hello.
He looks at you.
Hi.
Am I still dreaming?
I'm glad you're not in your dreams, but no.
I apologize for
Turn to me.
collapsing in front of your portal. I was able to find one of the radiants, and he will testify.
This
So,
is a member of the
she will testify.
Yeah, one of the people that we partied that we
Okay.
murdered.
So, your 3 witnesses are me, your friend Ben, and Shannon, one of the Radiants.
Oh, that's really good to know.
We're just kind of assuming the ruler won't show up, you know.
Given everything.
If he does show up, we should use him as a witness.
After what happened last night, I don't know that he would be the best witness. He seems unstable.
Yes, but he'd probably do whatever he can to get out of the meeting, so he would side with us, you know.
Fair, I will send someone for him.
Who is the person you found?
Sharon.
Shannon.
Shannon. I was right the first time.
And what was she
One of the people you fought.
in the radiance.
in the Radiance, not the
Yeah.
wolves, not the wolves.
Radiance, yeah. The wolves were the ones who were kind of testifying against.
Yeah. That's fair. Okay, good job, Sam. You did good.
Do you want this tea I made this morning?
I will probably need it. What time is it?
It's like 7.
I've only been asleep for 2 hours, so
Oh,
thank you.
Uh-huh.
I'll take the tea and begin sipping it.
we greatly appreciate your hard work in finding someone to save Ruvok.
I wish I could do more, but I am utterly spent. I'll need to get as much of this tea into me as I can if I'm gonna be coherent for this trial.
We could probably get rid of your exhaustion at the end of the day, too, so. You should
Yeah.
be totally fine.
Well, at the end of the day, it won't be much helpful to you.
Maybe we can get him a crab massage.
So a short rest up and all.
Is there time?
I can make it happen in 10 minutes.
Crab massage?
I'll take anything.
Alright. Well, first I will guide myself. And then I'm going to try to cast Catnap on him. It's a 10-minute short rest.
Okay, roll wild
I
magic.
guess I can do 3 creatures. I don't think anyone else needs it though.
You guys just got off of a long rest.
Yeah.
Roll wild magic.
Can I put all 3 charges on Sam to give him more rest?
I don't think that's how that works.
It's not. Wild magic first. 19.
You're good.
Ooh.
Sam is not turning into a barrel today.
Oh boy.
Or plant.
He might already be rerolling to cast that. Yeah, okay. Alright, small chance this is the first time the ring doesn't. Oh, 6.
Reroll everything, including your guidance stuff?
No. Just the d20 as far as I know, yeah. 3rd level plus 8, yeah, I'm 1 off. So it's a 3rd level spell slot, and we're getting a random 3rd level spell.
Oh, jeez.
Alright, what do you cast on Sam?
Oh boy.
Oh, no.
What do you cast?
It's a random table.
Oh, okay.
Plant.
everyone in the room. Now let me find this.
I don't know how I feel about that.
I think it's big enough for everyone.
It is for sure.
It's not gonna hurt though.
Famous last words.
That's
It'll
what
be
we always
fine.
say.
Is it Shannon or Sharon?
Shannon.
Shannon. Okay, got it right.
Shannon.
Shannon?
Shanon.
Not two N's.
Mm-mm.
Okay, it's not gonna hurt anybody, but yeah, a stinking cloud fills the entire room. But it'll last for a round and then I'll just stop concentrating immediately.
So is that instead of catnap?
Yes. So I still spend the spell slot
So,
to
yeah.
try. Yeah.
So you go, Sam, this will help. And then you cast
So I guess Sam can make
Thank
a con
you.
save and everyone else can. Yeah, we all need to make a con save.
Oh.
Unless you're immune to poison.
I'm puking.
Not 20.
16.
This really looks like a stink bomb event.
5.
I got a 10.
15.
I think my DC is 18.
Ugh.
So yeah, you just start retching and reeling.
We all start fucking.
Yeah, so you go, this will help. And Sam,
And then the rest of us do too.
you hear from like rooms beside yours, because this is a tent. What the hell?
I don't think it goes through. Oh, it does spread around corners.
What is that? You see servants come into your room, trying to like get it out, but they start throwing up.
I will open a window.
It's gone after
about 30
I can
seconds,
just stop
Sarai-
concentrating.
Sarai
Oh, it
comes
doesn't
in.
last 30 seconds. Oh.
It lasts 4 rounds, so about 30 seconds
Why does it
later.
last
No,
4 rounds?
No, I do have.
It's concentration.
Oh, it is
I do
concentration.
have
Just
immunity
stop
to poison. My
concentrating.
bad.
You're not throwing
No,
up.
a moderate
Yeah.
wind disperses the
chilling.
cloud after 4 rounds.
Yeah,
Guys
so
get-
that's another way to get
No.
rid of it.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
Alright,
poison,
well,
right?
as soon as you cease concentrating. However,
Poisoned.
about
If we were
30
on
seconds
negative
later,
poison,
Sarai comes in.
If you're not immune to
see-
poison, you just puke.
She is
guys
dressed
need
in
to
a
hurry
very
up.
fine, like,
Oh, yeah, okay.
dress of her house's colors, which are black and red. And she finds all of you, like, doubled over from vomiting. Sam is, like, on the floor.
Did Sam fail?
Yeah, you got a 16.
That is one way to wake up.
What happened here?
I'm sorry, that was the first malfunction.
Broken.
I don't-
You've been holding that in for far too long.
Sam will kind of get up and say, it's my fault.
I have some tea for nausea. if you
I'm-
want.
I needed to wake up, and that was certainly one way to do so. However, I will need to get changed before the trial. I think there's puke on my brother. I would recommend you all do the same. And I will see you at the courthouse.
We'll see you there.
That's amazing.
He stumbles out of the room. Sarai looks at all of you and she kind of sighs and walks away.
Did she?
It could have been a lot
She
worse.
came in later.
Yeah,
I
she
saw
said she
one of
didn't need
those
to fail
options.
because she's
It's
gonna
Okay.
freaking bad. Yeah, that one could have been.
You guys are really just ruining my chances with Sam here.
The
Like
fu-
making
the
him
funniest
throw
thing,
up.
the funniest thing is always what happens to you.
Good job. We really need to keep those two from apart, you know. He's got his own love he's trying to sell out there. Good.
You know, I still could have done that if he was. a
So I will say,
failed.
who all failed? You weren't there. You
Yeah.
failed.
Right, 'cause you're
failed.
I
It doesn't
have
actually do
immunity
anything, but yeah.
against poison.
What?
I have immunity against poison.
Oh, then you're fine.
Yeah.
Did you fail? Then yeah, the two of you are currently covered in throw up and smell like it. So
Well,
I was built for this. Prestidigitation.
brother, you're forgetting about me.
I can do you, I think.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I also have
I'll
prestidigitation.
do it. I'll prestidigitation.
Do you want to go find Sam and do it to him too?
I could, yeah. Hey, Sam. Hey,
He comes back in like fully shirtless because he had just taken his tunic off.
Are you gonna roll for that one too? He's shirtless.
He doesn't have a six pack. He has 12.
His abs have abs.
Like
Yes.
12. I mean, he said his abs got abs. I'm like, well, okay, that's gotta lower it a bit there. She got 14, so yeah.
There you
There's
go.
that. The
Okay.
blush is happening for sure.
You get to decide. I'm not in charge of that.
She's just gonna hide her face.
All right. Well, we should get to the courthouse as soon as possible. As soon as you enter, Roken, take all of you into our family's area. There will be a sign. It will say, I will be getting the witnesses and taking us to the witness area. We will be kept separate from the rest of you. They will bring Ruvok up to the stand, and at that time, who is your legal counsel?
It's me. Nada.
Well, at that time, you will be called, and the trial will begin.
I'm ready.
Good. Because the rest of you are not witnesses, you are effectively just viewing. However, once Ruvok's trial is over, there is every possibility that it will then go into trials for the rest of you to see whether you will be allowed to stay in the tournament. I do not know, but there's a possibility. Depends on how smooth of a talker you are.
My brother's always a smooth talker. Don't let me down after I said that.
Don't you worry.
Okay.
Is this proper court attire?
All of you look fine.
No. Is this proper quarter time?
What's this?
Him being shirtless.
Oh. Oh, right. We'll put a tunic back on. It is very tight, but it is a tunic.
roll.
Same roll, it doesn't matter.
Very nice.
Consistent.
Are you ready? As soon as you enter, you will be viewed. If you see any magic that Boshina is doing to tip the scales in his favor, remember, do not stoop to his level.
Can we call him out on it?
He's the leader of the trial. At the end of the day,
Yeah.
it is his decision. But remember, you're trying to convince everyone else in the room, not him.
Oh.
If he makes a unpopular decision, it will ruin his chances in votes later. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll keep my mouth shut.
Alright, so at this time he will begin leading you guys towards the courthouse. He takes you from Sarai's tent and actually takes you basically to the tent where you guys entered for the first time and saw the Merchant Parliament for the first time. So it's a very large, round tent, and as you guys enter, he'll kind of stop you and kind of point you in towards the main entrance, and then he will go around to the side where you can see Ben and a woman who you have met before. You recognize her as one of the Radiants you drank with. You can presume is Shannon, and they kind of go off to the side. What would you guys like to do?
Whatever Sam said to do.
Go over to the viewing area.
What's up?
I'll go over to the viewing area. Right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Alright, brother. Good luck.
So,
Break away.
yes, so you enter into this large tent and go through certain flaps, and you see Sarai standing there with several chairs behind her, and a kind of a sign above it saying Octona, which is your last name. So at around this time, you who are in prison, a guard will kind of come up to you and, all right, hold out your hands. And he'll kind of clasp some manacles onto you and begin leading you again towards the courthouse. I call it a courthouse again, it's a tent. You guys see people filling up the room, and you see that, so there's this main circle where Boshina's at one end, you guys are kind of off to the side, and then there's this kind of there's the main pillar of the tent, but otherwise it's empty space. You can presume that that is where you will be standing and kind of walking around and talking while you're up. After a few moments, you get led into the area and get sat in a chair at one end of this circle.
How many other people are like expected, as far as like the public goes? Is this like a public event or is it?
Sam hasn't mentioned it. You aren't really sure.
Yeah.
However, as the moments go by, as it gets closer to 8, more and more people show up until the tent is entirely full.
Okay.
So, hundreds.
What's the vibe of the people?
Anticipation.
Oh,
Ah.
no signs. I assume they
Roll
wouldn't-
perception.
I'm not sure if they would ever actually allow that. And,
You don't see any signs.
yeah.
Is there anything you'd like to do before the trial begins? Alright. What?
Is that I think I'm good.
Speak to your client.
Are you in? Is he in the room?
Yeah,
Oh.
you may.
I'm gonna go up and sit next to him and whisper in their ear. Okay. Try and look as not menacing as possible. Don't speak up. I got this. And if I win,
You owe me money.
you owe me.
I owe you a lot for a lot. I'll do that.
Maybe like. Well, we'll talk about this later. You know, I can't keep that in my mind right
Can't keep what on your mind.
now. Huh?
Can't keep what on your mind.
I just really want a black cloak like you wear. You know, it seems so super. Okay, don't worry about it.
But I don't wear a black cloak. You've seen it before.
Right.
So, as you guys go from there, you hear rain begin falling outside
Interesting.
as a storm begins. Alright. And the crowd goes silent as Boshina stands up from his side of the circle. You guys can see that there are like the 3 witnesses for each. The 3 kind of come up behind you. So Sam, Ben, and Shannon. And then you see 3 other witnesses behind Boshina, effectively. And you notice that they are the paladin who you guys fought, the one who basically went after Rubok as soon as the rogue died.
The
You see-
wife, right?
Yes, you
Yeah.
see the rogue herself, and you also see a wizard who you've never met before. So, anything else? Alright. Boshina stands up. I have gathered you all here today for a trial for murder. Ruvok of the Palakiri clan, you stand accused of murder of one Muriel Akanat. What do you plead?
Not guilty.
Not guilty. Not guilty.
So the trial commences.
Good job.
If you'd said guilty right there, that would have been so bad.
That would have been legitimately fucking funny.
He'd be like,
Just be like, oh, well, okay.
he'd be like, well, I mean, I did it.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, no.
Well, the plaintiff will now call the first witness to the stand. You see the paladin come up and kind of sit in the center of this circle. So you guys are so everyone can see her except for like the people directly across from her because there's the pole in the way. But in general, this is a very kind of open thing. State your name for the court, please. She kind of says, my name is Serafina Akanat. And Bushina says, please describe the events as you saw them. Well, we were fighting in the tournament. During the chaos, we began kind of fighting. I didn't keep track of who I was fighting against. I was just making sure not to use any magic. And then I looked over and saw a crossbow bolt through the neck of my wife, and she fell on the ground in a pool of her own blood. And I looked and saw a black dragonborn of the people we were up against, the Dragon Slayers, and I saw red. You may ask a question to the witness.
Wait, what was his question to describe?
Yeah, just describe what happened.
Oh, okay. I thought I was.
You guys are going to go back and forth a couple of
I-
times.
Let's allow him to get one question.
You get one.
But he also gets one. And he said, did he say, can you describe the events or describe
He said,
the
would you please describe
Okay.
the events?
I'm just being specific. Side table, fucking lawyering.
As a experienced adventurer like yourself, do you feel like every movement you make is perfectly precise and you have never made any accidents in your life?
I have made mistakes. I have taken the wrong job. I have made the wrong decision in an argument. I have never killed someone by accident.
Do I get follow-up questions?
I think that would be a question for Boshina.
Do I get follow-up questions?
Kind of looks around. You may.
Now, from a distance of 30 yards, the average arrow does drop about 7 inches, give or take wind. That's not even accounting for wind. And the distance between a lethal shot and a non-lethal shot is about 2 inches. So are you saying that there's no possibility that a slight mistake happened that cost your love their life on his end?
I don't know about that. I don't use crossbows, so I don't know. But if it dropped, wouldn't that have meant that he was aiming for her head? Boshina will then kind of take over at this time. So by your own logic, 7 inches from one's throat is a forehead shot. Something that I believe would be fatal to almost anyone. So it seems to me like Ruvok's shot was completely lethal, as intended, using a normal crossbow.
You're not accounting for wind.
Account for the drone.
Was there... as one who was there, I believe we can remember that there was no wind. However, I believe that we can verify that with some of the tournament officials. I believe the best one would be a ruin.
Nope.
I kind of looks around. I do not see him here today. Strange. I assumed that he would be here for one of his pets.
Jesus. Out of pocket.
Even my best counselor phase can't control how out of pocket this NPDSC
Do
is
we have
sometimes.
anyone else to verify the 10 mile per hour wind?
10 mile per hour wind.
Is there anyone of the Wizard Corps who's here today?
10.
You see one of Boshina's witnesses kind of raise his hand.
Oh no. We've got our own bed.
Serafina, thank you. We will call our next witness to the stand. And he will call, I guess we'll say it. If you are the only one who can answer that question when you come up to the stand, we will ask you. However, next up, they'll do all the plaintiffs and then all of the defense. Muriel Akanat, please enter the stand. You see the rogue that was the one who was shot. Enter.
Oh god.
She sits down rather timidly. You can see there is a large scar right here,
Dramatic.
about the size of a.
We shot her
Silver
straight in
dollar.
the neck. I thought we shot her. I thought we
I thought it was
grazed
the
her in
side.
No,
Yeah.
Oh.
he crit, dude. It went.
I thought we grazed. Okay.
No,
Fair enough.
no, he crit and it went straight into her neck,
Oh.
and she fell over and choked to death. Yeah, no, it was just dead. Yeah, you see she has a scar.
What was her name?
Muriel.
Okay.
Would you please describe what happened, Muriel? I was fighting. I had been hit rather hard in the tournament, and I ran. I had been cornered. I had been hit too many times, and I felt like I was about to fall unconscious. So I ran, and I looked behind me, and I felt like I got punched in the throat, and then I couldn't breathe, and then I woke up, and that was it. Would you say that you saw who attacked you? It was, she kind of points at Rubak. He was holding the crossbow. I remember feeling the crossbow bolt coming out of my throat as I woke up, and people standing over me. You may ask a question.
Obviously, we are all here to win, but not to kill. You say you were a moving target, so that makes it even harder for his aim to be perfectly accurate, correct?
I had stopped by the time I was hit. I stopped and then I turned around and then
You just said you were running, and you turned around and got hit in the neck.
I was running and then turned around. Yes, I pivoted, I stopped.
Just clarifying the events, because I'm getting mixed signals from you, trying to make sure we're on the same page. So you did complete a full stop and then turn around.
Yes.
Okay. Now, have you ever shot at anything trying to adjust for the drop, and it just doesn't hit perfectly? You, as a fellow ranged individual, have you ever killed anything hunting and not hit perfectly precisely on your target?
Yes. I suppose I have missed like that.
And, not to discredit you, I think you are a very experienced individual, so for something like that to happen, it must be a very common thing that would be even more common in the midst of a full-on combat with moving targets and emotions and lots of stuff happening at the same time.
I suppose. But at that point, Boshino will kind of... next witness, please. Thank you, Muriel, for everything. And I apologize for the pain that this man has caused you. Now, for the last witness, Ulrich, the tournament wizard. You see the wizard that, again, you've never met him before. Maybe you've seen him. Maybe he was kind of like, near the tournament grounds. But this is not one that you have met before. Ulrich, would you please describe what you saw as a tournament official? I was watching the tournament very closely to make sure that no magic was cast. I can verify that we set up wards around the stadium to keep wind from being a contributing factor. In addition to the construction of the tournament ground that was 10 feet below the surface to, again, keep wind from being a large factor. It was a very clear day, and I watched Ruvok Palakiri take aim considerably. He made sure to steady himself and then shot. And the bolt went straight into Miss Akanat's neck. Now, when you say that you saw this, you say that he aimed steadily. Yes, I believe I saw him steady aim when this happened. You may ask your question.
So, as your role, to make sure there is no magic happening, and you have to be focused on multiple different things. With the Tai, you're telling me you were watching the non-magical rogue closely instead of the potential other 8 contestants that can cast magic at the exact same time. I have a hard time believing that you were completely focused on everything that he was doing.
Well, there were multiples of us watching the tournament. There were 2 for each match. I was the one focused on your team, the Dragon Slayers, and there was another wizard who was focused on the Wolves of the Plains. So I was not splitting between 10, I was splitting between 5. And at the time, none of the rest of you seemed like it would be a magical problem. But yes, I was splitting my attention between all of you.
Okay. No further questions.
No further questions. Alright. Make an insight check. You may all do so.
I was like, I literally was waiting on
may all do so.
how do they not know? How do we know if people are lying?
I was gonna say maybe someone used magic on that.
No one asked to make an insight
I
check
didn't know if I
before this,
could,
so
yeah.
like, yeah, you can. You can make the insight check anytime.
22.
19.
22, 19,
Actually, sorry, 23.
6.
It's 23.
6 probably not.
23.
23, 19.
That one.
That one. Two.
I did 30, 20.
30. So, everyone but you two, you guys are getting the sense that, like, they are in fact being honest. It looks like Boshina didn't really think he needed to
Prep them.
to like lie for this one.
Makes sense.
Like if that makes sense. He thought it was pretty clear cut. Make another insight check. This time for the other people. You may do perception instead if you'd like.
Oh.
I would love that. 22.
22.
23.
23.
22.
What?
22 as well.
22.
11.
11.
She's
15.
dumb.
So
Wow.
everyone but Leslie.
The rain.
You kind of feel it
Of
getting the
water.
vibe that like people are kind of like, yeah, they're not on Ruvok's side for this one.
Not yet.
Yet.
I'm too stressed about this fake fucking trial. Just so you know.
Yeah.
I wrote speeches. We gotta win.
You
All
wrote
right.
speeches?
No,
Really?
for the events.
Oh,
No.
think like a lawyer.
So it's just like, what's going on?
So the only thing is like, you do get the vibe that like they might think it was an accident that he killed her, but definitely like was aiming for like a legal place. But yeah. So at this point, Boshina will kind of stand up again and say, "And now for the witnesses of the defense." He'll kind of read off a note here. Sam Octona.
Do we get closing statements?
Hmm?
Is there closing statements? Okay.
Yeah, there'll be closing statements.
Okay.
Sam Octona. So Sam will come up, resplendent, and we'll kind of sit down in the witness's chair. You may ask the first question.
Now, Sam, we all know your flaws are few, and you don't have to dispute that because most would agree with that. But from your eyewitness account, from being in the crowd, did you see Ruvok
Sam.
intentionally trying to strike a lethal blow into this woman, or was it more of a raging battle that he was trying to become triumphant and just take her out from the fight temporarily, not for life?
I have known Ruvok for only a few days. However, in that time, he has proven to be one of strong moral fiber. And I believe that he was doing everything in his power to incapacitate the opponent. I do not believe that he was trying to kill her. And Boshina will, or do you have any follow-up questions? Boshina will then say, "How long have you known him, Sam?"
Ask and answer.
Can I object to Bushina? That's probably not a
You totally can, yeah.
It's ask and answer.
I'll let him keep talking.
Okay. A few days now. Now, I'm sure that you have had several interactions with Ruvok. However, can you really be certain of someone after only a few days of knowing them?
Speculation?
Do you want to actually do that?
Yeah.
Asked and answered.
Make a persuasion check.
I was gonna ask you something. I can't remember.
31.
Well, he got a 10 because he rolled low, so
Hell yeah.
he'll kind of raise a hand. Raise a hand.
That's the lawyer.
That's my lawyer.
He'll raise a hand. Fine. However, you say that he is... No. In your experience, is Ruvok highly skilled? Say, yes, as one of the Dragon Slayers, I believe he is highly skilled. Then would of such high skill make such a mistake in the heat of battle? And he says, I believe that anyone can make mistakes and that Ruvok did not intend to kill her.
Oh,
In your humble opinion, Sam, you are a fellow warrior, along with Ruvok. Have you ever made a mistake in battle? In your mind?
I'm really trying to like.
I make so many mistakes. At this point, Boshina will say, no. Time. I don't remember the rules of lawyering, but he's going to raise a hand and say, the time for this is over. Leading, I think is what I'm thinking. Leading the witness.
Leading, yeah. Objection, leading.
I don't watch a lot of like courtroom stuff, so like
so much.
I'm thinking like an ace attorney, objection, you know. But yeah, he will say objection,
Way too
leading,
much.
and he will actually guide Sam off. And now for your next
He's been leading.
witness.
Wait, as you do that, can I look around for Ruvok's dad?
You may. Roll a perception check.
Why are you surprised? This guy's a politician. Kind of.
Oh, I'm not surprised.
That not kind of.
He is a born bred.
16?
16. You do see Rubok's dad in the throng of people. He seems to have fought himself up to like a few rows behind the front.
Okay.
So he is there, but he's not like front and center, probably because he just couldn't get himself that far. And now for your second witness, Ben. I don't know, his last name is not listed here.
Damn it.
And Ben will step forward and sit on the witness's chair.
The Ben.
Doesn't need it.
Yeah.
You get to ask the first question.
I wasn't ready for this. I was too distracted with this stuff. Okay. Ben. Who is one of the most useful wizards we have ever met. He is-
Objection. Pandering.
Sorry, I apologize. I just had to get it out there. You have spent time with us, and you are good friends with Aruin, a very respected figure. Do you think you or Aruin would associate yourself with someone who is going around with the intent to murder someone in the city?
I cannot speak to Aruin's character. However, I would not associate with someone who I believed would murder another in cold blood. Let me ask a follow-up question.
You were letting me go back and forth before.
Okay. Boshina will then say, Ben, the Wizard Corps has many objectives, yes? What kind of nod? Would you say that the Wizard Corps' objectives are always 100% pure?
Relevance?
Hill. Okay. Just because you are of the Wizard Corps, does that mean that you would not associate with someone who is willing to kill another? After all, you were all in the war. He'll say, I would not necessarily... he will say, I believe there's a difference between killing in battle and murdering in cold blood. And Boshina will then say, is this not killing in battle? That happened here. And he'll say, this was a mock battle, not a real one. And Boshina will kind of say, then this would not then be honorable killing then. This would be something else.
I agree. This would not be honorable killing. This would be more a truth to killing in cold blood, correct, Ben? Because it is a it is a spectacle with predefined rules, not like a war, which is a completely different situation.
Say, right, this was not like war at all. This was something completely different. He's going to kind of trail off. He doesn't really know what to say at this point. And
So-
Boshina will interrupt and say, I believe that settles that.
I'd like to take a vibe check of the room.
Sure.
You said insight or
Insight or perception.
19.
19. Ben is very apologetic. He does not believe he is helped. Because at this point, the room seems pretty much like, yeah, even if this was an accident, it shouldn't have really happened. So
Just do it between murder and manslaughter.
right now, that is what you were arguing between. And now for the last witness of the day, Shannon. I forgot what was his name. Shannon Rosata. Please meet the stand. You find a kind of a blonde human woman. Again, one of the ones who you fought against earlier in the tournament. You may ask the first question.
Now, Shannon, we share a bond because we have fought and drank, and that is an inseparable bond that you cannot break.
Objection. Pandering. Yet again,
And
I
you-
might add.
You have fought against us, and against specifically Ruvok. Did you ever feel like there were lethal intentions during our fight?
No. I felt that Ruvok's intentions were always to win, but I never felt like he was intentionally trying to murder anyone.
Now, in the situation you were in, if one of your opponents made a simple mistake and murdered one of your friends, with them brought back, do you recognize that the spectacle that's being put on there is an inherent danger for someone to get hurt or murdered?
Yes, there is an inherent danger in something like that, yes.
Thank you for your time.
Loshina will say, well, Shannon, I can see that you did fight against Ruvok. Did anyone in your party meet Ruvok before this? Before this fight? We'll say yes. Or she will say, I'm sorry. Yes, we met before the tournament. We expressed admiration for their feats as dragon slayers. And you met afterwards? Yes. Well, I have it on good authority that the dragon slayers met the wolves of the plains before as well. However, they did not have such a admirable interaction. That in fact, they threatened one another.
It was when like Sam showed up and then like we were at the
All those
store
things
with
did
them.
happen.
Yeah.
we talked shit.
Yeah.
Yep, you guys totally talked nice with the Radiants and talked shit to the wolves.
They started it.
Yeah.
By-
I'm pretty sure they did.
They did start it.
That's not what he's talking about right now.
Don't
Yeah,
start
that
no
is
shit. Well,
that
we
may
know
be
shit.
true, and it's something you can bring up. But like, you guys had an interaction that wasn't great. I will say, did Ruvok fight differently between your two matches? And she will kind of say,
Speculation.
before she answers, you
Yeah.
say that, and then I have no further questions.
Before you leave, Shannon, I ask one question. Do you think that a simple expression of competitiveness is a intent to kill someone?
Objection, relevance.
It's totally relevant. You can argue it.
He is the judge.
He is the judge.
But you can attempt to persuade out of it.
Say, this is perfectly relevant for the information you were bringing forward.
Alright, roll persuasion.
My bard die. Don't fail me now. It failed me now. 14.
Oh my god, it did fail you. What
He
the
got a natural 18.
Dude, what the fuck? Give me that die. Put it in dice
It
rehab.
was a death.
Overruled.
Dice rehab.
Or I should say, objection stands. Damn it, Jim, I'm an engineer, not a lawyer.
That's how I feel.
So, at this point,
We could, like,
you may both make closing statements. He will start. I believe that what we've seen here today indicates that Ruvok Palakiri is an experienced adventurer a trained killer, and that he would not have made such a mistake even in the heat of battle, and that any intent to maim would have been overshadowed by not only his ability, but also his habit of killing on the battlefield. Now he is going to make a persuasion check. You will also be making such a persuasion check
After my question.
at the end, and that will sway.
Sounds good.
Go ahead.
Ladies and gentlemen, are we really going to put up a fellow Jarellan citizen in prison for a crime he did not commit during a trial of combat that was put on to show the best of the best, and hold him accountable to a simple folly, a simple mistake in where he was aiming, with clear showing of no malicious intent and just a more competitive spirit towards trying to win?
Okay.
Go, go, go. Come on, die roll. Nat 20. Nat 20. I manifested it.
God. 33.
I will now confer.
So that thing rolled back. That was crazy. That was on an 8, right? And then I rolled into a 20.
It was, yeah, it was going a little, yeah.
I will now confer with the rest of the council.
Can I get a vibe check of the rest of the room?
You may.
I'm just
I guess I will too.
Maybe dice rehab is good for the rest of the dice too.
Not 20! Or 28!
Only a 15.
Oh.
You get the vibe that it's split pretty 50-50.
Oh. Nice.
But he did roll an at 20. So they will confer. At this point, Sarai will kind of look at the rest of you and say, I will try and sway his decision as best I can. But I'm not sure how it stands.
Do you think if you gave some of the other council members some favors, us doing the favors, would that help, or is that too apparent?
Not for this.
Sounds good.
And yeah, so there are several minutes while they are conferring. If you guys would like to, I don't know if you would like to do anything.
That was riveting.
I like the sound of the rain.
That wasn't my
Oh.
best job, I'm sorry.
Yeah, the sound of the rain
This
is
is my
really
A game.
nice.
Sam will come up to you and say, "Fine work, Theo," and he'll hold out his hand.
I'll shake his hand.
I'm sorry that I was not the best witness. I did my best.
Oh, you're a wonderful
Zoning
Sam.
out.
You can only do as well as the lawyer interrogating you, so it's on me.
Well,
I'm a little rusty.
I believe that in another life, or even in this one, you could exchange your bard title for a lawyer one, and you would be just as successful.
You know, maybe open a private practice here.
I may ask you to help other people someday. Boshina, as I'm sure you could tell, was not the most favorable towards non-humans.
No,
That's
he's
fair.
not.
So, hopefully the rest of the people are a little more favorable.
Well, Sarai is in there. If nothing else, I have faith in her.
I do too.
Is there anything else you guys would like to do for the next few minutes? Anything you'd like to ask Ben or Shannon or... You guys can actually go talk to the other witnesses at this point.
Is that okay?
Because it's like...
Already done, no
It's
Roy?
basically already done,
Oh.
yes.
I-
You couldn't have like last night.
Yeah. I'll go talk to them.
Leslie's just gonna sit there zoning out.
Fair enough.
She rolled a nat 1 and an 11, like, she's not even paying attention.
The dice have decided.
Ruvok, I have a good idea. I think, I'm gonna whisper in your ear, I think you should go make a formal apology to the young lady you accidentally killed, but try and make it audible enough for everyone to hear. Or don't, it's up to you.
Do you think that's enough to potentially sway everyone?
It's really just the court of opinion at this point.
I'm just saying, maybe it's, regardless of what happens, it's good to, if you feel remorse for your actions, it's good to do it now.
I believe that the time to do that may have passed. But
We didn't really have have very much time. You know?
Fair enough.
As soon as
He's
after the
He's
sorry,
been in prison. Yeah.
above
Her
table.
wife walked her away really quickly.
True.
Like right after the battle, like you know, they were all sobbing, and so there was no time to really interrupt there. and
You're
then-
right.
And
I'm
then he
just
got
saying.
We tried.
escorted away.
Well, perhaps maybe not for the court, but maybe for my conscience. It's
Yes.
clear that.
I agree.
It's a good point.
Okay, no, it-
How much am I shackled? Just at the hands, or as it feet to the chair?
So it's hands and arms. So you're kind of like you can move up and down. It's to
Okay.
keep people from casting spells.
But what about the feet?
Your feet are fine.
Okay. Where is the person that I allegedly
They're kind
shot?
of across the circle from you. The circle's maybe 20 or 30 feet in diameter.
Okay, I'll stand up and make my way over there. If there's doors or gates or things, I'll
I'll
probably
open
no.
them for
Okay,
you.
yeah, somebody.
I'll come with you. It's fine.
Yeah.
I'll,
So as you
The
approach,
system.
you see the wife, Seraphina, like stand
Hi, Seraphina.
protectively in front of her wife. Hello?
Hi.
the person that I shot. What's their name?
Muriel.
Muriel. Can I do like a vibe check on them? As
Sure,
I'm
insight
as
check.
I'm walking over.
I want to do a vibe check. And then, 22.
22.
Wow, okay. Well, you both
Even.
see that Seraphina seems to be like not swayed at
She's
all.
not gonna be.
Like she is maybe not as mad as when she thought her wife had died, but like she's still not happy.
Understandable.
Muriel is just kind of sad and seems to be significantly less angry than her wife.
You're gonna have to do these names every time.
Seraphina is the
Seraphina.
paladin.
Seraphina is the
The paladin.
The paladin. Okay.
Muriel
And-
is
and
the
Seraph-
rogue.
right.
You killed Muriel
And Seraphina is standing in front of Miriam.
Yeah.
protectively.
Okay. Excuse me. I'd just like to get
What
past
do
to
you
say
want?
just say a few words to Miriam.
You can say them to me. She'll hear.
Would it be better if I stood in the way too? Just to give extra protection on your end. If you...
You may have saved her life, but you ally yourself with the one who took hers in the first place.
I'm just trying to make it more comfortable for you.
What do you have to say, Dragonborn? She puts as much venom in the word Dragonborn as she can muster. I'm not very good at it, but she is like, it's like a slur almost.
Ruvok will do his best to ignore that and do what he went over there to do. Regardless of where this trial goes, I just wanted to make it clear that I apologize for any pain I may have caused.
So, you see Muriel kind of nod. You know, she doesn't seem to be all that like mad about the whole thing. She's not nearly as angry as her wife seems to be. Make a persuasion check on
I can't guide us.
Seraphina.
Seraphina.
Right, that's how that works, right?
Baldur's Gate lets you guidance.
I know, it's so-
I know, that's why I was literally like, oh, I can't.
But it makes you do it
Yeah,
beforehand.
it does.
19?
Hey,
Persuasion, you said?
that's pretty
Mhm,
good.
You see Seraphina's eyes soften just slightly. You cannot imagine the pain that you have caused. But I appreciate the sentiment.
I will nod and walk away back to my bench or wherever the heck I'm sitting for this trial.
Good job.
At this point, the council comes back into the main room. You see Voshina step forward. You see Sarai kind of come back to where you are, and she gives Sam a fist bump.
Oh,
I have decided that Rubok of the Palakiri clan will be charged with accidental killing during the tournament. Rather than a prison sentence, I have decided, and you can tell he's just like hating every word that he is speaking. I have decided that community service and a fine of 10,000 gold pieces shall be paid. And no further punishments will be called for. He then kind of talks about like when this fine will be due, and it will effectively, you have like 1 month to get the necessary funds together.
Okay.
Then now we shall adjourn, and we will come back in an hour for the discussion of whether Theodolo and Primrose Orbgaze, Palemore and Orbgaze, respectively, shall be allowed to stay in the tournament.
Shaking of her head.
Okay. All right. And then the crowd will disperse.
And the vibe of the crowd as they leave? Still pretty
Satisfied.
50-50? Okay.
I think they wanted to see more like objection, overruled. You know, like more drama.
Drawn.
Not nearly as dramatic as they were looking for. But yeah,
Can't
but
remember
with that,
Saturday.
it is sweltering in here, so we're gonna take a quick break and let the room cool down.
Yay!
And we are back. So you guys have about an hour until Boshina comes back, and it's gonna be basically Boshina versus Prim and Boshina versus Theo on whether or not you should be allowed to stay in the tournament.
Do this.
It's not raining anymore?
It's just
It
windy.
is. It's just quieter than the wind sound effect.
Alright, what should our approach be?
Okay, well, first of all, I really just don't like the guy, so
That's a good
By the way,
approach.
a guard comes over to you and unshackles you,
Unshackled me, I'm
and
free.
you are ready to go.
so my first issue is going to be
You are
not
given
telling
a
the bug
scroll
out.
with all of the terms that were laid out.
Mm.
That's
your
all I am to fuck
release.
off.
Oh, okay. I mean, you could try.
Do I have like a
likes that.
probation officer, or is it
I
just
like
like...
him.
Okay.
I think Boshina is basically like
I'm really just thinking.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna approach of it was necessary to save a life,
Uh-huh.
and as the Dragon Slayers, we are required to save as many lives as possible.
I mean, I'm a cleric, so that just kind of goes with it.
Yeah, I've got the Hippocratic oath.
You have no Hippocratic oath. I know what you do.
Doesn't apply to crabs. I'm ready.
I'm just gonna hold my tongue and hope the mushrooms don't betray me.
Okay.
Okay. So about an hour goes by. Most of the people in the tent have kind of milled out at this point,
Great
and it's
God.
basically just you guys and the council themselves. Again, Aruin is not there. Wolf is there as a representative from the Paladin Corps. You see someone in a white robe and big hat who seems to be a representative of the church. And Captain Ryland is there. I don't know if you got, I kind of forgot to mention that, but he would have been there the entire time
Yeah.
for basically this entire thing. But he doesn't seem to be really saying much. He's more just there as a formality. Because, as I'm sure you guys remember, he doesn't really like a merchant parliament.
Yeah, so he's there to save face
Yep.
and votes.
Yep. So about an hour goes by, and Boshina will call everything to order. First, Primrose Orbgazer. And he'll kind of look at you from his spot in the circle. You are currently being accused of casting magic during the non-magical portion of the Tournament of Unity. I have several eyewitness accounts, including my own, showing you casting a spell on a corpse. What say you in your defense?
That's very specific.
Well, I'm a cleric. If that's not made obvious by how I look, I guess. So, being able to bring people back to life is something that goes directly with my values and oath as a cleric. It being a tournament, I understand. But at the same time, if someone's dying, I'm not going to stand by and just let them die.
Roll persuasion.
Oh god.
Okay.
Alright guys, look, let's just talk for a second. I need you to do well. Because I want to play a game.
Oof.
Oh, it's persuasion, and it's not going to be enough. 12.
12.
Yeah, it's not going to be enough.
Yep. Unfortunately, he will say,
God damn
just
it.
because you are a cleric of some false elven god
Oh.
does not mean that you are absolved of the rules. Take your mushrooms and unfortunately you will be disqualified from the tournament.
I think, if I may, false gods or not, there are still standards of living to uphold with the tournament, and people's lives ultimately come first.
Well, I am not a wizard, but
But you
If
agree
I
with me,
remember
people's
correctly-
lives that are important.
if I remember correctly, the spell you used must be used within a few minutes of death. There were many others who could have cast such a spell, and then you would not have been disqualified from the tournament.
After decades in war, it's hard to not sit there and jump into action when things like that happen. Were you in the war?
I was not.
Ah,
I was busy with duties here, keeping the citizens alive.
oh, an equally important task.
Yes. Either way, the ruling stands.
What's the vibe check for everyone else?
This is a
One
civil
insight
court
check.
case.
I know, they don't give a shit, probably. Perception?
Or insight.
I think it's 13. Yeah, that's true. 13?
13. Disappointment, maybe.
And
But
then, of course, you as protector of the city also have the chance to pause the fights, of course, just in case things like this happen. And I think we, in the confusion of everything, my brother and I, were unsure if that would happen. Of course, I assume it might have, but the decision could have still been made to stop it right then and there.
roll a persuasion check.
God damn it, guys. It's... it's an 11 again. These are really good points.
They are.
He's just an asshole.
They are.
He just doesn't
Well,
believe.
He just doesn't care.
these are excellent points that you've made. These are unfortunately the tournament rules. You will not be charged any fine because you helped in such a way, but you will be disqualified from the tournament.
Well, boys, I have
Take your winnings, girl. You do not need to pay a fine. Take it or leave it. I'd like to remind you that there's a fine of like 6,000 gold or something.
It doesn't help me, Jonathan.
It's not supposed to be
Thanks.
helpful. I just said the meme. And
Thanks, guys. I
And now I want to see this meme. What the hell? Oh, I saw that. Yeah. I was on Reddit earlier
Twitter,
today.
now X today.
All right. And I will now call
Try
Theodola
not to
Palemore
divide
to the
it.
stand for the exact same
Moment just
thing.
made me think of it.
I'd like to remind you that you are currently being faced with not only disqualification but also a fine of 6,000 gold pieces. What say you?
Your glorious honor.
The Riz.
The bullshittery.
Possible theft of noblemen. I'm not
No,
sure.
no!
Worse, but like,
I don't think he's gonna bring that
okay,
up.
I'm glad.
Your glorious honor. It was a simple misunderstanding from the gesture that you made during the tournament. I saw you raise your hand. And I interpreted that as our signal to go and help the poor girl who died. But I think looking back and reflecting in my position now, it was a signal to continue the tournament. But there was so much going on, I thought it was essential to help this lady and give my expertise in healing to assist her.
Expertise. What did
Roll
you
persuasion.
do?
Who knows how long?
Try to risen for me too.
31.
Man's cracked.
Be a fucking bard.
Yeah.
Well,
Put his point to his skills.
I can see why he would think such a thing. And I do not think that a fine would necessarily be required. However, I believe that it would have been fairly obvious when the tournament itself would have ended, as I would have said so.
As you see, we are just traveling, and this is the first tournament in quite a while, correct? It is not something that we've ever seen, to see such a glorious event, and we didn't know the proper protocol, and I do apologize for that. I wasn't sure what you exactly would say during that circumstance.
Roll persuasion.
2 in a row! Let's go! Natural 4 for 17.
Natural 20.
It's okay.
I see your point. However, you will be, as per the tournament rules, disqualified from the tournament. Unfortunately, with the loss of 3 of your group members, I believe that the Dragon Slayers as a group will then need to be disqualified from the tournament.
Would you at least allow us to assist Sam in the joust, like how we originally intended?
Why should I let you do such a thing?
We're part of his family
And broken in the melee.
now. No, we're slaves.
Well, I mean, I was gonna get there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like, as it is the main event, and we have been preparing for this, it would be a disjustice to Sam's ability to take his vital tools, us, away, and it would be a disjustice to the city because they would not get to see as perfect an event.
This would be highly irregular to allow such a thing.
It's just a simple announcing and caring for the horse.
Roll persuasion.
Oh, baby. 16.
Oh my
You
god.
rolled a 17.
Can Sam say something?
Sam, help.
Did you actually ask him to?
I mean, where is he? I don't know if like.
He's here. Like he's just chilling with you guys.
A little nudge.
Can you just like nudge him? Please speak up.
You do that?
Yeah, just a little bit.
Could be. Sure. I think that While these dragon slayers are incredibly powerful in their own right, that they could not affect the scales of the actual jousting match in such a way as to affect the outcome. They are simply there to assist me in my endeavors as the actual knight for the joust. You may re-roll your persuasion check.
Hell yeah.
Let's go. Please.
Come on.
26.
That's better. That's per time.
Well, for you, Sam,
Yeah, he rizzes everyone.
on one condition. This is to Sam. This dalliance you have with my daughter ends today.
That's the fucking tea!
Damn.
Sam was taken aback by such a request.
Oh no!
You'll look at the rest of you. You see a tear begin
It's fine.
rolling
We
down
really
his
don't
face.
have to be in the tournament, really. It's just a tournament after all.
Deal.
Oh!
Damn.
God.
The man's too noble.
You better fucking win now.
He nods. Or Boshina nods as Sam goes back to the side.
Oh!
Sam wipes a tear from his face.
Oh! Poor dude.
You will be allowed to compete, as Sam is your knight. Anything else?
No. As a... What... And it's totally up to you, but I think from the viewpoint of the crowd, you have given the proper punishments for the three of us and eliminated us from competing in a tournament. But there is one of us, two actually, who did no wrong, and I do feel like they should still be able to continue participating in their individual
Ruvok may
tournaments.
continue in his individual tournaments. Unfortunately,
That's
Roken, I'm sorry. Roken may continue
Got
in
pardoned.
I got pardoned.
his individual tournaments. I do not believe that the other one in your party signed up for any individual tournaments.
No, she's more of a shot caller, so she's behind the scenes
A
actually.
what?
A shot caller.
She will not be allowed to continue in your place and will not be allowed to join any individual tournaments herself.
Understandable. Thank you.
Anything else?
So about this housing list. No kidding. So can we...
No further.
Alright, and with that, and just as he begins to say that court is adjourned, you hear footsteps from outside
She's
of
coming.
the,
Better be down.
huh?
I said she better be.
You hear footsteps coming from outside of the tent, and I don't know who you guys were expecting, but you see a scout come in from the outside, and wearing leather armor. You recognize him as a scout of the Paladin Corps,
Oh.
panting and and you can see that he is covered in mud. There's a large like burn mark on like the side of his face. You can see that he's dripping blood from one arm, and it's been sealed with a bandage that's several days old. He staggers in. Sir, I'm here from Ayudale, there's word. And Boshina will say, speak. There's reports of dragons attacking the city. They are requesting a regiment of the Paladin Corps to be sent to fight them off. Ayudale, you say? Well, dragon experts, what are your thoughts on this?
Are there eyewitness reports?
The
you see
scout
them?
will turn to you.
I think it's really...
What did you ask?
Did you see them? The dragons?
I didn't see them. They were they were burning down the city when I left. I heard the screeches from behind me, but
No reports of a color?
I was told red.
Oh.
And there were multiple
Interesting.
dragons?
Dozens, it seemed like.
Oh my god.
Dozens.
I ran as fast as I could. My horse is almost dead.
About how long did it take you?
3 days.
Oh, fuck, the city's gone.
Oh my god.
Huh. If it is true, and I don't doubt it's not, then that's...
You'd have to get there instantly. and
You'd
still
have to
be
go right
picking
now.
up the pieces.
The city is more than likely in ruins already.
First Drakkar, now this. Incompetent fools. Wolf, what say you? At this point, Wolf will kind of look at the rest of you, and you see him kind of sadly kind of turn to Bushina. The Paladin Corps is not equipped to fight dragons. The Wizard Corps would be more powerful in this matter. The tales of a Ruin fighting the Black Dragon were not exaggerated. Fortunately, there is no representative of the Wizard Corps here who could send any sort of squad there. I will think on this. For now, we will do nothing.
I mean,
Could you?
if you'd like, we could get a head start on it and go
Send
there.
us.
And you would miss the tournament for this?
We would, on a singular condition that...
That's where I was going to.
Go for it.
Two different conditions, I'm guessing.
Oh.
that Sam is still
Oh.
allowed to date your daughter. He's a wonderful man. And very respectable.
Yeah. Not my best plea for romance, guys.
And the Prim and Theo are still allowed to compete.
Oh, that's very different conditions.
By the time you get back, the tournament would be over.
Yeah.
We will not hold it for you.
Well, if someone from the Wizard Corps is able to get us there more quickly, that's something they've been experimenting with recently.
Yeah, the mayonnaise.
That wouldn't be the case.
Mayonnaise in a jar.
Speak to the Wizard Corps about this. Report back. Unfortunately, I know nothing about their experiments. The Ruin's been tight-lipped on the subject. But I could see this being Rivok's community service, I suppose.
And gold.
We're really stretching it here.
Roll persuasion.
As prevention for potential city damages here.
Should I as well?
Dirty 20.
Should we all
Did another natural
push
20?
I did.
Damn.
Talk to the Wizard Corps first. Then we'll talk about how fast you can get there.
Understood.
But either way, I don't like this.
Oh, do you know why they're burning the city down?
Is it the scout?
No.
I don't know. I was sleeping in my bunk and I heard screaming and roaring, and my commander told me to take the fastest horse, and I could, and tell them that red dragons were attacking. So
What's that check?
Any idea where they came from?
Same.
Either?
Seventeen.
he seems to be telling the truth.
All my dice
No,
are
Any
it's an
idea where
18.
they came from?
I'd rather
Either?
do Trey, that's fine.
Came from. I don't know.
Just the
the
direction.
Baldur's Gate. I rolled 24.
I didn't see anything. I heard that there was a dragon here that could.
This is
I was told to try and get the gold dragon to help.
Oh, Salandrin, we could
Songs are sung about him in Ayudale.
we can ask
we could
him.
let him know.
Yeah.
He doesn't already.
The Wizard of Ruin.
Ruin
It's a little preoccupied.
Yes.
definitely preoccupied,
He
but
likely
the
not
attempt
be
can be
able to.
made. Hopefully.
Well, Boshina will say, will kind of snap his fingers and go to a page. Send for Telendrind. Tell him to come here at once.
Okay. And I'm gonna cast Healing Word on the scout.
Yes, do you need some help, sir?
Unless you have good berries that can help it.
I don't have any pre-done. I was
What's
just
up?
casting
While
healing
they're
spells
doing
too.
that, can I grab a sending stone and like
Oh.
call for, what was it, Taka?
We'll see how he's
You
doing
may-
after your healing
Okay.
word. I
Yeah.
can do a healing spell
Yeah,
too.
after a couple of
I've
I've only got
healing
one sending
spells.
stone for him.
So
So you
yeah,
got
roll
6?
hit points.
It's all
6
good.
hit points.
I said go for it.
You see his gash get smaller, and he drips blood significantly slower. It seems to be more from the pool in his bandage than it is from.
I'll do a cure wounds too.
Yeah, that will most likely get pretty close. Yeah.
Help the horse?
Oh, do I gotta do
Oh, yeah,
magic.
I did wild magic on you.
17.
17.
Wow.
You guys
Really?
are rolling.
Now you roll 17?
Hey, at least he doesn't turn into a barrel.
Yeah.
Like that could be an issue. You see the burn on his face go away as he kind of sighs in relief. Thank you for your help. I've been riding straight for 3 days. I've used all my spell scrolls to just keep my horse alive. But if you have any questions, I can answer as best I can, but I just ran. You see him kind of wilt a little bit. I left all of them.
It's alright. We understand.
But you are the Dragon Slayers, right? I've heard of you. You talk about how you killed a dragon down in the chasm. Have you ever fought multiple dragons at once?
You know, one
We
time
got close.
we got
but
close.
Not yet.
But we are still just the dragon slayers.
Not the Dragons Slayers.
It is an essential part of our name.
But we have come into contact with lots of
Be a nice
dragons.
upgrade.
Dead or alive.
Well, okay. he's not enthused. You wanted to talk to Taka?
Yeah.
What did you say?
Talk to Taka.
It's 25, right?
Yep.
Hi, Taka.
Strong start.
I'm used to doing 5 words, okay, not 25. This is a lot.
Just thinking far ahead.
Oh man.
It's stressful.
Pre-moving in chess.
Hi, Taka. We. Oh my god. I can't do this. Someone else do it.
We just got word. Red dragons in Ayudale.
Attacking Ayudale.
Attacking.
Just say,
Attacking in Ayudale.
say attack.
Ayudale attacking.
Okay, so that's like 15 or 20 words at this point.
It's like 12.
Well, for all the times you corrected you.
Yeah.
Multiple red dragons attacking Ayudale. There's your 5.
Will you
That's-
help us?
What do you know?
What do you know? Help.
Help.
What's your
What's your name? Tony. You'll get a response back. Red dragons are attacking? I've never heard of a group of red dragons. before. Also, they wouldn't be there. There you go.
What does that mean? They wouldn't be there?
Oh yes, if you could help. Yeah, I still have enough words yet. I'm at 18 words, so I have 7.
Isn't Storm trying to keep away the king? He's playing keep away.
Well, he let the king come out. He
Yeah,
tried to
he's
convince
following
him
him
not
around,
to.
it sounded like. Didn't we have like 5 days or something? There's a lot going on here.
I can't interfere with the chromatics. There you go. It's 24, so probably as good as
This
you
is
can get.
brass dragon, right? He also didn't do great against red dragons.
Probably not.
They
no.
wouldn't do very good against him either. But
Yeah.
It's not effective.
Well,
they're all fire breathing.
That's not effective.
he says that he's never heard of red dragons being in a group and being in that area in general, so he can't help
Maybe
us.
Who are
he
you
meant
talking
they wouldn't-
to?
Maybe he meant they wouldn't be there anymore.
The entire group
Yeah.
with sending stones
Yeah,
just
right,
out
it's just
loud
one,
or
right.
swore.
Take the sentence, but you don't hear it all the time.
That's quite strange. However, strange things have been happening everywhere anyways. So it's not impossible.
I guess. Yeah. I wonder why Ayudale, though. It's a very odd spot.
I'm not quite sure. 3 days.
Yeah. It could be halfway here.
Not really, because it takes 2 weeks.
Yeah, how long does it take to get from Iodale to
Well-
Torella by flight?
Well, you guys flew just kind of across the ground, and it took you about a week.
Yeah.
Wow, this guy must have been running fast.
24/7.
He was
Yeah,
using his
like,
spells to keep
You
us-
guys were also only going 8 hours a day.
Yeah,
He said that he used all his spell scrolls.
yeah.
Yeah, just to keep the.
If you want to make an Arcana check, I'll tell you how he did it.
I know it's possible.
Yeah, he basically just
18 plus 8.
basically just a bunch of like restoration spell
Yeah.
scrolls that he just
Use
basically
that
just
poor
like
fucking
fed
horse.
to his horse. Like
Oh,
To
that poor
exhaustion,
horse.
yeah, like every time, you know.
Oh
Okay,
my
well the
God.
horse is at, you know, 1 level before death. Greater restoration. Okay, we can go for another 8 hours.
Oh my god.
Horse
the
was
poor
tortured.
horse.
For the greater good.
I'm trying to
but-
whisper in your ear. Do you think this guy is actually telling the truth?
Do I think so?
Roll insight.
Yeah.
Now you thought so.
I think so.
Yeah, that's right. My wisdom is so 16.
It's funny. I re-rolled and then realized I should have just kept like the same roll, and I rolled the same thing, so it just works out. 16
Yeah,
seems to be telling the truth.
I think so. Yes.
Wow.
But Prim does have a point as well. Like, what if they do come here? Continue on to another city.
No, they will for sure. Can I address Bushina?
Yeah.
What
You
did
guys are just waiting for Tellenburn right
What
now.
did you mean by Drakkar? What happened to Drakkar?
I thought we knew.
It was destroyed. Yeah, you guys knew.
By dragons or by the?
By the Black Dragon. So there's like.
Oh, I forgot that one was destroyed.
Yep,
by
so
Black
at around the same
Yeah.
time as Prologue 3.
Dragon. A couple
So when
sessions.
basically
Yeah.
at about the same time that you guys were fighting the Deep Dragon, the Purple Dragon, Telendrund was fighting the Black Dragon. And just before that, the Black Dragon destroyed Drakkar.
There are obviously some people from Ayudale here in town. We can see if any of them are able to contact their family members back home and see what's happening.
Is that Tsubushina?
Yes. Spellcasters from Iodale, yes.
I know of at least a few.
There's what's the stranger from Idaho?
He'll go to another
Stranger for Ideal. Yeah, that dude.
go to another page and be like, send for Sir Keith, please.
Yeah,
They
Keith.
Perhaps scry on their home as well.
That's true.
It's the stranger from Riverdale.
I don't know who the stranger for Iredale is then.
I wrote it down.
Actually,
They're in the individual.
we just-
Semi-finals against the one from Iredale.
Don't know.
Yep, there was a stranger from Iredale.
Yep. Don't know.
Unfortunately, no one knows who he is.
That's
He's
very
the
on
stranger
par
of
for
the
our
first-
party.
That's fair.
the tournament organizers would know.
Probably. However, Bushina has sent for Sir Keith, who you guys may remember you have met
Yeah, we
on the
know
way
Sir
in.
Keith. Yeah. What a great guy.
Keith. Spelled with 2 E's. Like teeth.
Teeth.
You don't know it,
So at this point, everyone make a perception check.
do you? Feel scrying prepared? Caitlin,
Let me see.
the 5th level.
I'm
We're
scrying.
making a
Yeah.
perception
I
check.
won't have
Oh,
it.
you
She'll
have
have
it?
it.
I have scrying, yeah.
Okay.
We don't need to.
Well, but because we passed by Iredale, right? Like we saw
Yeah.
it, we saw it from afar, so you could scry on
Hard
it.
item to buy for
I mean,
it's a freaking
Do
thousand.
we have
Right.
it's
yeah.
not consumed, so if we could
Got
just
it.
borrow it from somebody.
Natural 1 for 2.
You
Oh,
don't hear anything.
dirty 20.
You, okay.
What am I doing?
Perception.
Perception.
Oh,
Natural 1.
You can use your passive, I guess. But
Oh,
I'm
if I
not-
use alright, well, it's fine.
Yeah, I forgot to
It's
say that ahead of time. It's
my
fine.
passive is 10, and I just rolled an 8.
Okay.
Natural 1.
She's
Natural
just
one.
dumb.
22.
fine. It's the rain.
So the 3 of you that didn't get natural ones,
Oh,
There's
okay.
a natural 1 for 7.
you got a natural 1 for what?
2.
0? Oh.
Yeah, it's right on par for Ridlock. He never sees anything.
So the 3 of you hear this like rumbling, almost like thunder, as
Should we make a history check?
what?
You're fine.
Sounds like a dragon.
Yeah.
As Telendrind
Oh,
sticks his head into in full dragon form, sticks his head like through the entrance of this tent and like rips a bunch of it to shreds. I am not one to be summoned like a lowly page human. Telendrin's gonna make an intimidation check.
I hope he wins.
Boshina's gonna fail it.
Oh, plus.
So Boshina is
What's
gonna
up?
like
At least someone puts him in his place.
to explain the situation, Scout. The Scout, who is also terrified,
Should we just...
will explain the situation to Telendrind. I cannot interfere. Draconic law, the treaty between the chromatics and the metallics and the crystalline, forbids me from interfering with any chromatic endeavor.
Might you be able to tell us why they might be doing this?
The fact that they are red dragons
In a group.
is troubling. Especially red dragons in a group. I have never heard of such a thing. Red dragons are, by their nature, solitary. They seek mountaintops, not cities. I do not know why they would have done something such as this.
How were you able to kill the black dragon then?
I ripped off his wings.
No, I mean by your law.
That was a special case.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay.
I see what you got going on. Okay.
I was given leave to do so.
Bye.
You'll hear kind of a laughing sound of like rocks falling against each other deep within Telendrin's chest. And he will not answer. Is there anything you'd like to do?
Wait for Keith.
So, if you any other questions for Telendrin while he's here?
I
certainly potentially get the material component for scrying so we can see how Iredale is doing.
Boshina will kind of look at you and, I do not know this. What material component is this?
A quite expensive crystal ball.
I'll go to yet another page.
About 1,000 gold.
The one who went to go find Telendrinch is currently basically sitting there in a puddle of his own pee. Go to the wizard core and ask for scry components. He'll toss him a gold pouch. Take it out of petty cash.
He said petty cash. Hold on.
And the page will run off to grab one. At this point, you find a large man in a bright purple tunic. His head is bald and shiny.
Love it.
And he has he has a full beard, cropped short, and it's lined up just like perfectly. Comes in and says, "I have been summoned." Yes?
Oh,
Nice to see
Dragon Slayers. It is good to meet your acquaintance again. He will bow very deeply to Telendrin.
well, we were hoping you could come help us with something really quick.
Yes, what is the matter?
So don't panic, but Iredale got into a little bit of trouble with, some dragons, and we're trying to figure out if you can see if your relatives are okay and what the city looks like.
Is that what we're trying to do with him? Okay.
I think that was right.
Yeah.
Okay.
His entire being
Oh.
sagged just slightly. I am not. You say dragons?
Uh-huh.
I have some sending stones. I did not think to grab them.
Oh, that's okay.
He kind of motions outside and kind of motions to someone. A few moments later, someone comes with a stack of sending stones. These are to my wife. I will see if
I'm gonna cry. Oh, I'm gonna cry.
you see him kind of turn away and speak with the sending stone. After a few moments, he turns back around. She may be sleeping. I do not know, but she has not answered.
Okay.
What time of day is it?
Late morning, like noon.
Okay.
Okay, well,
It's like 11 o'clock.
Could
so
be.
Probably not.
she
Probably
could be
not sleeping.
just, you know.
Just let him believe that.
Do you have anyone else you could call?
I have a sending stone to my daughter.
Oh God, please.
Yeah,
He
Not
does the
just the
same
men.
thing
why don't you give that a shot?
for the same result.
Women and children too.
I
Any ghosties hanging around them?
Huh?
Is there any ghosts hanging around them?
Nope.
Oh. It's a good thing.
Oh, okay. We definitely could be sleeping. We could try back later.
She often plays with other kids from around the village.
Oh, yeah.
Perhaps she is simply out.
You got any last remaining sending stones in your back pocket, or just your daughter and wife?
Unfortunately, I did not think to have more sending stones than that.
Oh,
I figured everything else would be able to be handled through the wizard core mailing system.
I mean, if you want to stick around, we're gonna try and see what's happening there. We can tell you, or if you don't want to know, you could just go.
Are you planning on going to Iredale?
yeah.
Possibly.
If
If
we
you do,
can.
I will join you.
Okay.
Adopted NPC. Yeah.
That we know the name of.
Yeah.
Oh.
Sir Keith.
Sir
It's all coming
Keith.
together. First name Sir, last name Keith.
Well, I'm sorry you're finding out this way.
They could still be fine if dragons attacked, as you say. Who knows if they got separated from.
I told you
Each
they were
other,
separated.
yeah.
What would you like to do?
Are we waiting?
Wait till the
Are
mirror
we
comes
waiting
back
for
again,
the-
or the ball.
Yeah, baller. I said ball, mirror.
At this point, yeah, someone, the page comes back holding a crystal ball.
Okay.
Take it and hand it to Leslie.
What do I have to do? I just have to.
You gotta think about the location that you've seen before.
Yeah, so you can target a location and you get a static sensor at that location that you can see through.
Okay, let's do it. Nice.
Okay. You see a city from across a lake. This is the same view that you had of the city from when you passed by it, if that makes sense. Because you passed on the north side of the lake, and
Yeah.
it's on the
Yeah.
south side. So you see the water, and you see the city, and you see fires raging all throughout. You do not see anything flying. You don't see any dragons or anything. You simply see fires and smoke from them. From your vantage point, you can't see
People running or anything.
people or anything like that.
Oh my. That's not good. The entire city is on fire. However, I do not see any dragons. So either they have moved on or best case scenario.
The fire is still raging. It must have been there recently. More than this happened 3 days ago. They must have at least stayed or came back.
Could burn for a while. But I agree.
How much damage looks like has been done to the
Decimated.
You don't see many standing buildings.
Oh.
This man's whole family just fucking died.
We could find out technically
How?
by casting it on one of his family members. But
Oh, I'm not doing that. That sounds like a bad idea.
What would you like to do?
I mean, if there are survivors, they're more than likely gonna end up coming here, right?
probably that'd be a long time though.
It will be a long time.
Survivors would travel slowly. This is Keith. And
So-
even then, the roads have not been safe for
Well,
decades.
they'll need help.
I will be going to Ayudale. If you can get there faster, or if you can do something, then I will go with you.
Yeah.
But either way, I will get my horse ready. I will be leaving in an hour. He walks out of the room. Is there anything you'd like to ask him before he leaves?
We did, Leah's, Jonathan asking, we did, like send somebody to the wizard for about potentially
Manics.
getting there faster, right?
I don't think you sent anyone there.
Oh,
Oh,
You
we're
said you
going
would
to
go
talk
after,
to
yeah.
So we were going, yeah. Okay.
we should probably just do that.
I guess if he's leaving now, we should find out within the hour if we can get there faster.
Yeah.
Really quick tangent. Who would be leading the Red Dragons here? Do you know their name?
That's perfect.
Who would be leading them? I have never heard of a group of red dragons before, let alone a leader among them. I do not know. There are many red dragons, but I had not heard of any coming here yet.
If you were to throw out a guess, just the name of one of the ones that will be here, if you were to guess. what would
I
you
do
say?
not have one.
Okay.
As I'm sure you know, There are 3 types of dragons: chromatic, metallic, and crystalline. Of the chromatics, I do not know many of them. They are
Cats are going wild.
they are more savage than I, less refined, more prone to simply burning than talking. They also have different goals.
Okay. Good to know.
It would not surprise me if there is no leader.
Well, I guess we'll have to go to the wizard court.
Ascend quickly.
Yeah. See if the ruin is in the right headspace to handle this.
It was Ben's experiments anyway.
You were asking about
it may
ruin.
be worth going to someone else just directly who's working on those experiments.
Ben was the one who was working on those experiments.
Where is Ben?
He left after the after Rubok's trial.
Don't show the sending stone for Ben.
Just, you don't have to remind me.
Okay.
Asking if you could get us there more quickly.
Ben,
We have a situation.
there's a serious problem with red dragons in Ayudeo. Have you figured out how to send a living creature distances?
There is no answer.
Alright, let's go to the wizard court.
Bye.
He left me on red.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard when people we like just leave you on red.
This music is too pleasant for this situation.
He did not leave you on red. He did not seem to get the message.
That's even worse.
It's worse.
So we know the sending stones are working because we got to talk about that, like...
In. Yeah.
You guys,
Remind me of something happened to Ben though.
you guys head on over to the wizard core, and you find the building similarly to how you left it. Yeah, just there. Do you go in?
Yep.
Yes.
Where's our friends?
Yeah, Armageddon and
They're at the
Root.
estate.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're at the estate. They're not in the wizard core or anything.
Okay.
So you walk into the wizard core headquarters and find people are like running around everywhere, same as usual, and no one really seems to notice you guys like come in. They're all just very busy doing their own thing.
Well, we know where Ben usually is, right?
Yeah,
Past
down.
by that room.
Yep,
Okay.
down like a bunch of floors.
Yep.
I'll
that's
pull up my
fine.
map.
Maybe let's start
The
there.
poorly drawn, or I'm sorry, expertly drawn.
Precise.
Alright guys, let's go. We got this.
Make a survival check at disadvantage.
Oh, I'll give you
Guide.
guidance. Or I can just help you with it, because my...
One of you could also just do it.
I'll
I'm
just-
just kind of playing the
I'll
bit.
just do it.
No, one of us just remember.
I got it.
Whoever likes
I
to
can
make
roll
a
for it.
survival
I
check.
got it.
Yo, we got it.
21.
I got a dirty 20, so...
You look at this
Truly
map and you go,
expertly
you flip it over and go, oh, okay.
It's like a stick figure, like a man pointing. Perfect.
Yep. And using the flipped over map, you're able to go down the stairs correctly. And as you go down, there seem to be fewer and fewer people. And it gets darker and darker, almost like the torches are going out. And when you get to the bottom floor, where the experiments are conducted, everyone make a perception check for me.
Can I use natural perception?
You may.
Okay.
So first, you may use your passive.
My guide myself.
Can I use my performance of creation to animate my war gong instead of making a check?
Sure.
17. The first actually good perception check
Nice.
I've ever done.
9.
Yeah.
Okay. 17.
23.
23.
19.
19.
Oh yeah, that's right. Just thinking.
War call.
What's your passive?
16.
All of you smell charred meat and burnt hair.
If Ben dies,
No.
I'm gonna cry.
We're gonna start rushing. I'm gonna rush down.
Okay, you come across the doors into the laboratory.
Do they open? Can I try and open them?
You push on them, opening the door. And I think we're gonna call it there.
We don't even know what it's okay.
We're just gonna blue ball us.
Yeah.
Look, it's how I make sure you guys want to come back for the next session, okay?
As if we weren't already dedicated to like Sam and his
Love
his
life.
romantic
Interim potentially ruining it.
homewrecker. Wrong
That's
campaign.
the wrong campaign. But we said we'd end at around this time, so I figured this was a fun cliffhanger to do. Fun for me, cliffhanger to do it on. So, yeah. Catch us the next episode of this one coming out in around 2 weeks, or the next episode of the Adrona campaign coming out next week, and all the other stuff we do. So, yeah. See you later.
Bye.
And don't forget to brush your teeth.
Goodbye.